Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
I laugh when I hear about people because, like I said before, you're almost like a mythical figure. So when I'm talking to some of the cats back east and down south, and they have mentioned your name, they always ask me, man, what's up with Big U? And I say, man, Big U was a cool nigga, probably over there coaching some kids up with some football and talking some shit.
Exactly.
Because he been avoiding my fade. He been avoiding the fade with the almighty Coach Steele for a long time. and I let him slide,
Man, look.
retirement.
Let me tell you this. Let me go on and give Steele his credit, man. Steele will probably beat me for sure. And that's because of this. I cannot recruit kids that Steele can recruit.
Yeah,
because I live in the 60s.
You know we can't recruit.
I live in the 60s. I'm from the 60s. It's just people not going to let their kids play for me. Period. Crenshaw's going to always have a stigma. But let's say this. You're going to have at least 6 of mine on your team to play against me. So it's unfair.
Without a doubt.
So
man.
that don't work. So, I mean, no matter how much work we do in our community, y'all still come filter and pillage our community.
Well, we got to. Y'all got all the hogs. Some of my hardest kids come from over there, but shoot,
okay,
that's what
now what if
say.
I was able to keep my kids and because most of these parents, they don't know me, so they think I'm sitting around telling kids, get the blue rag, pick this up, do this, so this is really how any coach can get the kid not to come to me. All they got to say, man, he gonna have your son game banging. He gonna have your son woo-de-woo. And I fight this every day. I fight it every single day. And I mean, it's unfair. I can sit around and cry about it, but what I do, I'm just gonna coach with calm.
You know one thing I want to say, man, and we ain't gonna hold you no long time because I know you're a busy dude and we appreciate you coming on. One thing I will say is I pulled up on you over there and that felt nothing but love. Don't got the most free hot dogs I've ever gotten. It's been a wonderful environment. And so I want to say that to say this, man, we can't believe everything about our black people, man, that we see online or some stuff because it's always deeper than what you know. You do a lot of incredible stuff for them kids over there. I saw one time that you was getting the little young sisters their prom dresses and stuff, and the little boys their suits and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was a few years ago.
And still, like you just got through getting all the kids' shoes, and you get hooked up with all the niggas and get the kids' shoes and all that type of shit. Man, it's a lot. People perceive, your reputation from what it was than what you do now because people don't want to look beyond. But that's what people have to be able to do. They have to be able to, just like with you, James, the same shit. You hear your fucking name and people be like, they think the same fucking affiliation. They don't know the growth.
I'm into the suits and the shoes and all that. So if you ever need a donation, let me know. The only person I go through now is Cynthia Nunn. She got Sylvia Angels over there. And I took a gang of shit and some turkeys. I bought a gang of shit for her backpacks and all that shit. So anything I can do to help with kids and homeless people, you can count me in. I drop it off anywhere.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Because I know, especially with the stuff my son doing now, I always talk to Chris about him having to give back to the community, right? I say, man, you go ahead and bust this check down. I said, who do you want to help? He said, Pops, I'll be checking out, he called you Coach Henley. The kids know you as coach, you know what I'm saying? He said, I want to go over there and help Coach Henley and them, because y'all look out for them kids over there at SC, man.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because, my son was at a gas station. He should have been at one night. And he said, man, I know your pops. Take your ass. What is you doing over here? Take your ass back onto that campus, But, man, I got one more question. I got 2 more questions to ask you. What's up with the Checking In podcast, man?
Oh, man. So Really, I just really just put it together with an idea. We figured out we'd do it, and the name came out. It's the name is unique, so it's like I want the podcast to talk about the streets. I mean, look, it's exactly what y'all do. I looked at what y'all was doing, and when you was telling me about it, I didn't really want to do it. I want to get a mic, and I figured a lot of people was telling me, man, they gonna want to hear what you got to say. And they talked me into doing it, and I sat down and I did a couple of pilots, and I'm like, man, I think I can do this. I think I can make people feel comfortable enough to really express themselves and to be able to, chop it up on the couch and answer the hard questions in a right way. You know what I mean? I don't want to do Vlad. I ain't trying to get nobody locked up. I don't want to do nothing that's shocking and insensitive. I want people to be able to really chop it up with a G.
Well, they're gonna hear your 100 though. That's what they listen for. They just want to hear your 100. And as long as you're giving them that, man, you got them all. You got them. They gonna listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the beautiful thing about this podcast and stuff. It's really allowing us to have a voice for us, not going through no motherfucker where he can chop it up and make it sound like he want to sound. No, this coming straight from us, unfiltered and raw.
How many times do y'all shoot it? Like, how do y'all? What's the platform?
Man, shoot, we shoot like this week. This is our second episode we done this week. We did the one that dropped today already, and this one we doing now, man, to drop next week. This will drop on Thursday, so we do it once a week. And sometimes, man, we've had times where we don't knocked out 2 and 3 shows in a week. Sometimes it's just how it comes, because like the convenient time for you to do the interview was Thursday at 7:00. Okay, that's when we go do this interview. You know what I mean? Because this about,
right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it just be me, James, and H just sitting and chopping up, and that's our normal show we do on every Tuesday, man. But man, it's it's a beautiful thing because it ain't nothing but a conversation. I don't even look at it as an interview. It's interview.
It feel good though. It feel good.
Yeah, it's just natural. You know what I'm saying? Just natural. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to put him niggas up on some bullshit where people can come and express themselves, talk about their past or talk about their positive inputs on their positive effects on what they doing right now. So, like I said, a lot of motherfuckers, when they hear your name or they hear who associated with shit, they already get a estimation of who you are. So we try to change that with this podcast and give people a platform where they can come and express themselves. And people can be like, man, niggas is highly intelligent motherfuckers. You feel me?
Right.
Just to see that people is because my biggest thing with this shit is I try to let the outside people look at people when they see a black man. Don't look at it. You don't see just a Crip or a Blood. That's a man right there. Because we all men before you anything else. You come into the world as a man or a woman. You know what I mean? Nothing else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the last question I got for you. What in your definition, man, what did Nipsey mean to LA?
Wow. It's crazy. I want to say what he meant to LA is, I don't know. What he meant to us.
The world, actually to the world, but he's just an icon, like he's LA's icon.
Well, I got to separate that. Because see, what he meant to us is different. And what he meant to me is different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I got to tell you what he meant to me. He was my love. He was the one I seen first, and I said, he can do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He was the one that I said, out of all the people I looked at, I said to me, put your money on Nip.
A lot of people don't know how hard, how long you and him was riding together. Because you was riding him.
And that's the thing. People got to understand that it took somebody to say, this the one. So what the world seen is what I already seen. You know what I mean?
You saw that shit you saw that from the beginning.
Exactly. I saw it. I saw what the world had to later come to see. I met him when he was a baby, and in my mind, I knew he could become this because when I first met him, he was talking about bullets ain't got no name. He was talking about Crip walking. He was talking about sea walking. He was talking about that. And in the conversations we had in the natural growth, he became what everybody else can respect and then try to equate to Pac and all them. But I seen it first. That's an appropriate question. But the most appropriate answer is I seen it first. You know what I mean?
You did.
Like out of all the artists in the world, you got to remember, I had been around Snoop. I had been around MC8. I had been around Game. I've been around all these dudes. I've been around all these dudes before I went and got him. And I had to, in my mind, say who could ride with them. Who am I gonna place my one shot on? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and that's what people do when you see this show, you're gonna see in the documentary, it's a lot of people who taking and putting their word behind these artists, and these artists is gonna blow up. Cause it got to be somebody say, look, Dre, this the one. Or this the one. Or Game, this the one. And when it was my turn, I told the world, no, he's the one. So I can say to the world, no, you're always late. I already knew.
Exactly, because he is definitely your contribution to hip hop. And I tell people that all the time. I say, man, it just wasn't no overnight stuff, because I thought it was genius what you did too. And I ain't gonna hold you no longer. I just thought it was genius. You kind of threw people off at first because sometimes you would have them wearing red baseball caps in the videos and other stuff. It wasn't like what you did was genius.
That was a fight in the hood too. Let's keep that 100. That was a fight in the hood. That was a fight because you got to remember, when I came home, I didn't want nobody, I don't want the set tripping. I want my sons to feel like, you know, Bloods, you know, Cuz, you know, this, like, that was purposeful. I purposely did not make sure. I watched every video in his early videos. I listened to every lyric. We can't put that out. We ain't gonna sub diss these niggas. We ain't gonna cross this out in the wall. Because when we came with Nipsey, you gotta understand, bro, we was the first movement to not claim a city. We claimed a set. So it was very difficult because we didn't claim Compton, we didn't claim Watts, we didn't claim Long Beach, we didn't claim LA, we claimed Rolling 60s. And so it was a lot of people that was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do it. And I'm like, why? We ain't dissing nobody. We ain't finna diss nobody. We ain't finna alienate nobody. We gonna do it. And it was, in the beginning, he didn't want to do no songs with nobody but Rolling 60s. You know what I'm saying? And dudes who was affiliated with us. So it was pulling tooth, like, nah, man, we gotta do this. We got, you know. And he had his feelings. He was young. He was a tiger, man. He was, you know, he was a cub. He was ready to get on, but he got it. He got it. We need to do this. You know, we got to do this to make this. We got to do this.
He started seeing it was a bigger picture than just the hood shit. For real.
Yeah.
Without you doing that, though, just imagine where he would have been. He probably wouldn't have made it if he didn't have that understanding or got that understanding from the big homie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you pretty much got to give yourself credit for what you created. And that's showing him that he had to be like versatile in the game to be successful. And he did that. Gotcha.
Nah. He had to be able to receive it and then put it back out. And he was great at that. He took what little I gave him and then what bigger example I gave him, and he made it work.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You know, we was together for a short period, but my influence in my neighborhood and my example in my neighborhood still poured into him. When we had the beef, you know what I'm saying? It was very short-lived. It was longer to everybody else in the world because the internet made it long. We had a one-day beef that people made long, but we always talked and we always built all the way up until the day he passed. You know what I mean? You know, so I love that. I'm not the one who had to say I didn't get to tell him I loved you. I don't have that. I don't have them demons. I'm not the one who got to say I missed him, and I gave him his award while he was living. I gave him the only award he ever got. You know what I mean?
True that, yeah. Man, well, you, man, I can't thank you enough, man, for coming on the show. I know this is going to be big, man, because we got the dude that pretty much, synonymous with the face of L.A. They look at a map, it'd probably be a picture of your ass from that motherfucker.
Oh,
California, you know what I mean?
They got me hiding in the back, like.
Man. And we glad to get you on. We glad to get you on here, man. Because like I said, I don't know you a long time, man. And I'm just real. I can't say enough good stuff about you because you do a lot of incredible stuff in the community. And we appreciate you, brother.
Okay, I'll be back after the thing drops. After it officially drops, I'm coming back.
For sure. Good luck. I want to holler at you, Big U.
My name.
For sure.
Right.